All right, welcome everybody. Today we're going to be talking about the response protocol as it relates to aesthetics procedures. And my name is Michelle Langston. I'm a double board certified family nurse practitioner and faculty at Empire Medical Training. And this is really an important topic for all of us because we're going to replace fear with knowledge. So I'm excited to get talking about this. So we talked about in our other session, recognizing early. This is very, very important. How do we do that? We do a full assessment prior to picking up a syringe. And so when new injectors ask me, what do I do? How do I prevent this? And the short answer is knowledge will help you to take care of this. There's no way 100% to avoid a vascular occlusion or never pulling out your hyaluronidase. Most injectors will tell you, we love it when it expires. And yes, that's true. And it is a flex, just so you know. But we want to make sure that you understand and how to recognize very early our complications. This, I think, is something that I don't know if it's because we don't want to believe something is wrong. We're excited about the result, and maybe the result looks amazing, but then the patient starts to complain about pain outside of proportion of where we inject it. And so we're thinking, that can't be. It looks great. So it can't be an occlusion. It could be an occlusion. And how you're going to be prepared for that is we're going to be prepared. We're going to do drills. We're going to make sure that we know exactly how to recognize and treat. So treat the territory. We're going to flood that area. So everywhere, not just where that syringe was at, because the thing that you need to understand about hyaluronidase is that it crosses that vascular membrane and it will dissolve the filler and the hyaluronic acid filler inside the vessel. So we want to make sure that we're flooding the area. We don't want to just be looking for that vessel. Don't do that. Just continually inject. When do we quit injecting? When we get our hyaluronidase on board and the symptoms subside. Reassess aloud. So you want to say this to your team immediately. I'm getting some cap refill, prepare another syringe. And so we're getting that ready. We're maybe have 5 syringes of Hyaluronidase prepped and ready to go. In my office, my medical assistant knows immediately. She makes a call to my medical director and also to another nurse practitioner down the street because I am a solo practitioner. And she and I have our emergency protocol that we share together. And so you can look to the community. You're not alone in this. We all will take care of each other when we manage these correctly for patients. So you want to reassess out loud. I've got cap refill. We're going to start assessing now. Go ahead and prep additional syringes on standby. So that might be something that you come up with. And again, the most important thing is to prepare for the emergency when you don't have the emergency. And that is the most important thing. So calm is a clinical skill. I want you to know this is the most important thing. You can't think when you've got a patient there and you're all of a sudden terrified. You want to replace that fear with knowledge, and we want to understand that being calm is something that you absolutely have to do in this situation. You know what to do. It's kind of like that first ACLS code in the hospital. You know what to do, and you become a machine. So as long as you're practicing, you'll be able to manage this. So the first decision, is this routine, urgent, or emergency? We talked a little bit about that earlier in our earlier segment. If there's a visual change, there is no watch and wait. Immediately, you invoke your emergency protocol. You're calling 911. You're getting the patient prepped and ready to go for EMS to pick them up so that you can then follow them to the hospital, let the physician know, the ER doc, exactly what you injected. Which hyaluronic acid filler. Let them know what the percentage is. This may not be a physician that understands that. Hospitals do have hyaluronidase in their pharmacy. We use it in the operating room. We use it in interventional radiology all the time. So they do have it. Routine, this is expected. Swelling, bruising, the patient is stable and we're fine. This is regular, a good old bruise. And that's going to happen on your friends and family for sure. So this will be your regular bruise. We need to recognize that and understand that. And how do we do that? Over time in practice. Urgent, this is when we start to see that blanching in this area, and it starts to be a little bit worse. All of a sudden, there's more swelling on this side. We're having some asymmetry. We're having more discoloration. This is not normal. So remember, we talked about normal versus abnormal skin response. This is where we start to question, I need to act. And I need to act now. And it may not be the day the patient's in the chair. So this is why we do our follow-up calls. And we want to make sure that the patient is doing fine the next day. So emergency, visual symptoms, pallor blanching, or the libido, delayed refill. Remember, any visual changes is an automatic emergency. Start injecting while you're waiting for ambulance to come. So step-by-step response map, well, it's easy to remember, but it's also, you want to make sure that you're documenting what's going on. So patient claims, I'm having pain. This is weird. I feel like this is not right. I've had my cheeks done before. I've had my lips done before. Something isn't right. They know. This is where it begins. This is number one. This is the most important thing. Assess. We stop, we put the syringe down, and we start to assess. We pull up their before photos. We start to evaluate and look, is this something that is a normal reaction versus abnormal? And so once we do that, we want to mark an outline, and so that we start to monitor the situation. So if we see that, we want to outline those borders, and we're going to timestamp what's going on with the patient at that time. That's going to help us to determine whether or not we've resolved the issue. Treat. If the hyaluronic vascular compromise, we want to put our hyaluronidase, again, flood the entire area. The medication is an enzyme, and it does cross that vascular border so that it will passively go into the vessel. And I think that's really important for people to understand that. It will go passively into that area. And you can also be doing your other protocols. You might give a nitroglycerin, you might give an aspirin if in the absence of allergies for either one of those medication. You can start using your compresses, but remember, the one thing that you're doing as a practitioner in the injector is inject hyaluronidase until we get reperfusion. So in 15 to 20 minutes, the cap refill, pain and color, if it comes back, then we move into our watch and wait. So we might put them in our other room. We might dim the lights because, again, they're going to be pretty anxious. So part of your job is to stay calm so that rolls over into your patient. If you're calm and confident, then your patient is going to also remain confident in your skills to manage this. And I promise you, you can do it. So escalate when needed. So vision symptoms or poor response, immediately prep that patient for the ED. We want to get them to the emergency room. We want to get them to where we can do an IR-guided dissolution and dissolving of that filler so we can help the cascade to stop. We want to stop the line. We have to stop the line of the symptoms of this vascular occlusion and the traveling of the ischemia that continues past the area of blockage. So this is really important. So do not make the patient leave until perfusion is stable. We need them to understand this. When does this start? All of my injectors watching this should start during your assessment, okay? So patients should sign not only a consent for your filler, but they should sign the consent for the hyaluronidase. Why is that important? Do you think I'm going to ask them for a consent? No, I am going right into emergency mode. And they already know. And how I explain that to them is we're going with needles in the face and we're injecting a medication that may or may not get into a vessel. And so I'm having you sign this other consent. And this is in the event that I needed to dissolve it pretty urgently, or if we need to dissolve later for, there's many reasons that we dissolve. But today we're talking about escalation, and they should already know. If I tell them, remember I talked to you about this might end up in a vessel, and I'm not positive, but we are going to treat it as if, so a lot of things are going to be happening all at once. Stay calm. I know what to do. All of a sudden, they're at ease. They're like, okay, I'm going to, they're not going to be without any fear, but they're going to have confidence in your confidence. So stay calm and carry on. So the rescue tool for HA filler compromise, well, we've talked about it this whole segment, and that is the hyaluronidase. And so it's an enzyme. And it's used to degrade hyaluronic acid filler, and it helps with tissue permeability, and this is important. So what it does, it breaks down that cross-linking, which is the HA polymer, and it does that. It passes the vascular tissue, and it will go all around, so you flood the area. It's magical. So I'm really excited that we have this. 10 years ago, we didn't have this tool, and so it's really great for us, and it's really improved the safety that we can offer our patients. So what does it not do? It does not reverse non-HA fillers. So we need to understand that. So when we're moving to our CAHA and our Sculptra, our other biostimulators, it does not dissolve those. However, literature does tell us that you should still move into your hyaluronidase to decrease the compression around those vessels. And that is something that's very important to understand, because the whole goal is to return blood flow to the area and reduce the negative signs of ischemia. So it doesn't reverse it, but you still want to use that. And an emergency referral, again, if you have a biostimulator complication, you want to make sure if you're using CAHA, calcium hydroxyapatite, Radiesse, or Sculptra, immediately you're going to go into your emergency protocol. There, you're going to start flushing, nothing's going to change, but instead of waiting for calling emergency, we are going to do that right when this happens. So hyaluronidase is indicated for the HA filler. It's used off-label. We use it off-label for dissolving things that we may not have anticipated, like overfilling. And clinical preference, you want to use the exact dilution. We want to use a needle and our cannula, and you want to follow your medical director protocol. And when does this start? Before you ever open your clinic, before you ever pick up a syringe. So dose for the problem and then reassess. We've talked a lot about this. Vascular compromise is treated until the patient is clinically back where they started. So this is important. We're not trying to correct this as a cosmetic. This is a medical situation. This is immediate, and we have to be immediate and calculated in our response. So initially, we're going to use 450 to 1,500 units. This is what our most protocols, they start with high dose flooding, and that is very correct. We've talked about that. You want to get that area saturated. You want to then monitor for any changes, which would, of course, we would want that to be improvement in the tissue. And then coverage, you want to infiltrate the affected area, not just the area where you puncture, because remember, that's not where the filler is at. The filler is at the end of that golden triangle, which is the tip. That is where the filler is actually placed. So we want to make sure that you understand that, not the puncture site. That is not where the filler is. It's beyond that, up to a 1/2 inch and maybe longer if you're using a cannula. So timing, you're going to reassess every 15 to 20 minutes. And if the perfusion has not returned and the skin hasn't returned to normal, then we're going to repeat. We want to record the total units, the vial, what time we got cap refill, and how many times we retreated. Practical, well, you want to keep enough hyaluronidase in an emergency kit for repeated dosing. One person will repair, one person will prepare, one will document, and one is injecting and stays with the patient. Now, I shared with you a little bit about my community. I do a lot of trainings in my office, so I keep quite a bit of hyaluronidase. My medical director keeps in a certain amount as well. And then my colleague down the street, we agree to help each other if this ever happens, because as an aesthetic community, we all win when we help with patient safety. So make friends with your friends around the corner and make sure that you're available to help them too. Don't delay emergency transfer. Anytime we have this, any visual changes, it is immediate ER. Start your protocol, start flooding, but call 911. You're going to continue that local protocol while waiting for that emergency services to come. And you can just hop right in the car, follow over, let the ER doctor know. That's going to show you're a real medical collaborator in your community. Don't tell the patient just to go to the emergency room. Don't do that. So manage the panic. This is very key. So this is where people start to get a little antsy. And am I going to be able to manage this? And I promise you that you will. You need to practice, just like we practice code blues, and everybody has a job to do during the code blue. This is taking that training and applying it in an aesthetic situation where it becomes a medical emergency. So now what's true? I see a change. We're staying with you and starting that protocol I talked to you about. Reduce the audience. We're not going to talk about any blame. We're not going to worry about it. You might be the nurse practitioner, PA, or doctor walking in where you've had another colleague that's had a complication and they want your opinion, or you might be the medical director, and there's no blame. This is immediate rescue. So you want to give frequent updates. You want to let the patient know what's going on, and you want to reassess. We don't ever want to do this. Don't tell them everything is okay. We are in an emergency situation. You're going to tell them, though, what we're doing. I'm injecting the medication that dissolves the hyaluronic acid. And sometimes we have to repeat this. So understand, I know what to do, and I'm going to take care of this. Do not give promises that everything is fine. Everything is not fine at that point.